joining us on the broadcast. It's Jordan Axe, a real hero. 5 caps for the Australian Wallabies. GPS legend. 66 for the Queensland Reds. Nick Frisby. Hello, Frizz.
Hey boys, thanks for having me on. Been listening along, enjoying the show, fellas. Great chat.
Mate, for a man that's the number one analyst in Australia these days, what do you make so far? Are you happy?
I just want to show you this first, Jordan.
Yeah, you love it, eh?
Yeah, big fan of that, mate. That's great.
So can I discuss this, Nick? Obviously, I've worked with him a bit. Broncos diehard. He comes in for ready to do a rugby union broadcast. Goes, mate, you see the Broncos last night? Just loves it. Frizz, what's doing, mate? What's doing?
Mate, I am just an absolute diehard. I just have loved the Bronx my whole life. I think I'm getting worse in my old age. Like, it's actually not healthy how much I love them. And like my wife and kids have to go and hide whenever there's a Bronx game on because I just go ballistic. But I am getting back into my union. I obviously follow along. Like I love the Reds and follow the Wallabies. I don't watch. Like, I'm not an avid watcher, but I always follow along. I am watching the Wallabies now. I'd flip my camera if I knew how to prove it to you. I swear I am watching.
So, yeah, I guess we'll get it stuck in, mate. What have you made of it so far? First test of the Wallabies. The big one, obviously, Tate McDermott getting the crack at 9. How do you sort of see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard Geordie Lanack speaking before about having Jake Gordon there. I'm a big Tate fan personally. Like, I think he's our best halfback in Australia. Purely just because he's got...
Try time Harry Potter in the corner there, Frizz.
Yeah, lovely.
No,
they've looked sharp. Oh, that's devastating.
No good. As you were, mate, sorry.
Yeah, like, I think Tate's our best halfback. He's the only guy that's got that real X factor about him. You know, he's a real out and out match winner, and I think that's really important at this level. I like Jake Gordon as our number 2, or if he starts, I think Tate's got to be on the bench. I just don't know what we get out of having Nick White on the bench. Like, I love White. He's a great fella, awesome player, and I get like the experience and composure coming off the bench. But like, if Tate's not starting, I think him coming off the bench just gives us so much more punch. In terms of the actual game, they've been good. The Wallabies have looked sharp. It's just probably those few little errors that are letting them down. A bit of patience stuff, like Noah hitting the crossfield kick when they're on the attack. Wilso with that loose offload before. I think at test level, and especially against like the Lions, you just can't afford to give away those little errors when you're on attack. Like, you've got to really make those moments count.
Yeah, I agree. Before the boys have a few questions for you, Frizz, I believe you have a good James Slipper story over the years when you've been a long-time Wallaby and Red with that man.
Yeah, I got a couple of good stories about Slips. He's one of my favourites. Probably the first thing that comes to mind is how on earth is he still playing? Like, I remember when I was playing with him, he was busted every week, and it was like a real battle day in, day out just to get himself back up for games. And here he is still going for bloody 150 test caps and 200 Super Rugby caps, which is just ridiculous. But one of the great blokes, Slips, and one of the great characters, I suppose, like a little bit undercover. Like, he doesn't give too much away, Slips, and he's a pretty quiet fella. But he's a guy that was always keen for like a beer after a game. He never really liked going out or anything. He always just liked having one or two blokes back to his house, and he'd sit there, drink his red wine and smoke his durries. He loved smoking the durry back when he was younger. And that was awesome for me. Like, he was the first guy I saw. It was like, you know, he was a Wallaby at that stage and still just did it like how he wanted to do it. And I thought that was awesome. But probably like a bit like how I was myself. But yeah, we had a Reds reunion on Wednesday actually, and one of the boys told me this story, and I thought it'd be good to share. But on a South Africa trip one night, we played the Sharks in Durban, and like, we've just had this massive night out. Got home at like 5 or 6 back to the hotel. We've got like an 8:30, 9 o'clock flight from Durban to Cape Town. And anyway, like, we jump on the flight, and the boys, like, everyone's just in all sorts, like, it's some serious hurt getting around. And Slips like stands up down the back and passes out on the flight, and like passes out across a row of people, and then like throws up on himself. And I'm sitting down the front just completely unaware as to what has happened. We get off in Cape Town, and it's like they just froth their rugby there. So like every airport, there's fans there waiting for you, and we're all getting off in like our Reds polos and our Reds travel kit. And Slips has had to change, and the only thing we could find to put him on the flight was a pair of Qantas pajamas, and someone had a pair of slippers. And so, like, we've all got off looking sharp, and his Slips being escorted off the plane in his Qantas pajamas and slippers. It was an absolute scene at Cape Town Airport.
That's all time.
Oh, he's sounding more and more like his brother Will.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, well, I played with Tom Slipper. There's a lot of the Slipper boys. They run hot. Tyler Campbell, any questions for the great man?
Oh, while we're on the top, I guess, of Fiji, mate, what is your thoughts on them as athletes? Like, I personally said, I think they're some of the best athletes on the planet. Do you have any sort of, I guess, good stories or memories of playing against sort of Fijian players?
Yeah, heaps. I couldn't agree more, Tyler. Like, I played with a couple of handy ones myself. Like, Sam McGrevy's probably the first guy that comes to mind. Big Radicki. Played with him with the Reds and at Jeeps. And just an absolute freak of an athlete. I was going through this Fijian side before, actually, but Tuasova, I remember I played him in France. He was playing for Toulon. And I just spent all week being like, fuck, I hope that this guy goes nowhere near me on the field. Like, I was just shitting myself. And because he gets a bit loose over there, because the refereeing's a bit like, how you going? Like, he's like flipping blokes on their head and just like flying out of the line and just like head high and blokes. And it's all sort of like play on. I was like, oh my God, I've never been so scared of anyone in my life. And thank God he got red carded in the first 5 minutes. I've never been so relieved in my life. Bill Marta, another one. Geordie Linak, was he still at Edinburgh when you were in Glasgow?
Yeah, mate. My first game when I got there, I'd been there maybe 2 weeks, and we played a Glasgow A versus Edinburgh A game at Scotstoun in the snow. And I don't know what happened, but he was playing for Edinburgh. Oh my God, he hit me so hard. I did like one of those like horizontal helicopter things. I got up and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Why am I here? This is cold. It sucks, but. Yeah, mate, he's an absolute
It's not what
athlete.
you want to see lining up for an A game.
God,
Big
no.
Bill Marta. But he is a scary man, hey?
Yeah.
I just remember, here's another one, like, and just a freak athlete, like you were saying, Tyler, like, enormous body, big, physical, but, like, fast, just holding the ball like it's a peanut, offloading. Oh, just an awesome player.
And the thing that gets me, though, the athletes like that, but they barely gym. Like, I remember when I was with Sevu.
They're not allowed to.
It's a bit like Nick Frisby.
Yeah, much like myself. Never touched a weight.
Yeah, me and Sevu were coming through Waikato at the time, and I was like in the gym, couldn't put on any weight. He would do half an hour and run to go play pool in the team room, and he was just getting bigger and faster. And it's like, I just want those genetics sometimes. You just wish you were blessed with it.
Nick Frisby, from one Glasgow Warrior to another. Joy Linak, what do you got for the big man?
Mate, I just think, obviously, Lions Tour, it's coming up for someone who's played at the top level, both Southern Hemisphere and Northern Hemisphere. If you were to sort of put the difference between the two games in sort of 2 or 3 words, what would it be, playing from the cold up north to nice fast track down south?
Oh, it's a hard question, eh? 2 or 3 words.
Yeah.
I guess up north, like, it is a very different game, isn't it? Like, it's more direct, physical, more forwards orientated.
Yep.
Like, the set piece is way more important. Kicking for goal, like penalty kicks and having good goal kickers is way more important. Whereas I guess like the conditions down here, down south, obviously all that stuff's still important, but the conditions just allow us to play like a bit more of a free flowing game. But I reckon that's something that those teams now have become really good at. Like Ireland, Scotland's a really good example, Geordie. Like you'd know from being at Glasgow, like they decided years ago that in Glasgow that they were just going to play like Southern Hemisphere footy, and obviously help having like Kiwi coaches, and they just threw the ball around and they like fucking dominated that competition. The sides like Leinster and Munster, they just didn't really know how to defend against that style of footy.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen that now translate into a few of the national teams. Like Scotland actually play a really decent brand of footy. Ireland at times, you know, it's still forwards orientated, but they've brought a heap more shape into their game as well. I honestly reckon that URC, I don't know, Tyler, you said the top 14 is the best comp in the world at the moment. And I like the top 14 is good. There's probably like 5 or 6 real good teams, but then there's some shit at the bottom. But I reckon that URC, I reckon that's the best comp in the world at the moment.
Do you reckon that the fields have a bit of have had a big shift in that? Like a lot of teams are now gone to really high quality 4G pitches as opposed to sticking to grass in terms of making like
absolutely.
a dry track?
Yeah, well, as you know, Joy, the grass just turns to absolute slop. It doesn't even have to be wet and raining, just like the cold. It never bloody dries up. And when you're having scrums and mauls and rucks and shit on a sloppy field, it just makes a mess. I hated the 4G. I don't know how you found it, but like just wrecked my knees, and not that I had any, my calves. I just got sick of having grazes and stuff all over my body as well.
I just got into the habit of just putting that Fix-A-Mole over every joint possible. If I could
Yeah.
pull my socks up, pull them up as high as they go, rip the skins down to almost just those above knee ones, like the proper under 12 specs. Just cover up any bit of loose skin you could.
The Nick Ray.
Yeah, yeah.
Mate, did you get into at Glasgow, Geordie? Did you get into the taping up the fingers?
Oh, mate, I was on it. Every finger.
What? Because it's just so cold. Is that?
Oh, I don't know what was going on, but
They just tape their
It's
fingers.
like the Japanese style, didn't it?
yeah. No, I saw
It's
George
for
Horn
grip,
do it
apparently.
one day, and I was like, you know what, I'll give that a crack, and then it kind of
Yeah.
stuck. But then the thing was, you get that, you tape up, you get the sticky spray, and then all of a sudden you get those black crumbs that actually stick to the tape on your fingers,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you look like you're just walking around with sausages on your fingers. So
I like it.
it's good fun.
Yeah. I think the theory was they reckon it gave him better grip. I saw Moses Saravi try it one day at training at the Reds, and Brad told him, Brad Thorne said, "Get the fuck off the field."
I love it. On that same vein, Nick Frisby, obviously, both played in Glasgow. I believe there's a pool cue story that Geordie's floating around or something. What's going on here, mate?
Just before this started, mate, when I got there, I don't know what was in the water, but someone heard that there's a new halfback coming in from Australia, and I had some seriously big boots to fill. And then I started hearing stories, and I was like, I don't know if I can step up to this. But I heard that the Rock was your place to be. Is that right?
Well, Geordie, you know the story. I've been umming and ahhing whether I could actually tell it or not. So you be the judge if I can tell it. But
I'd say not. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a good one. I think it just really showed your enthusiasm to have fun.
that stage of my career, like, I'd sort of done everything I wanted to in Australia. I was pretty over footy, to be honest. Like, my only reason I was overseas was so I could travel with the missus and, like, have a bit of fun. And, I was third string halfback at Glasgow, played once every 4 weeks when the big boys wanted to rest. So, like, I had to find a way to have fun.
Yeah.
Great story. I'll have to tell it.
It is, yeah.
Another time, but involves a pool cue, a split Jap's eye, and a pint of vodka. So
Do the math on that.
maybe fill in the blanks at home.
Yeah.
Oh, I love your work, Nick Frisby. Any other questions for the boys for Nick before I let him go?
No, mate, that's everything. That's been a real treat.
Unreal.
Nick, thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. Great to work alongside you every week, mate, and thanks for stopping by.
Oh, pleasure, boys. Geordie, you're the real star of the show, mate. And well done yesterday, boys. Good win for the Bondies as well. Good luck
Cheers
for
for
the
that,
back
mate.
end of the year.
Yeah, good to see you. And obviously great to be on the call yesterday. Western Brothers, what a cracker. That was Nick Frisby. Thank you very much. He's good, isn't he?
Good value. Great value.